Okay. Holla at the homie. Today I got one of my motherfucking real ones in the building. I got my partner Ronnie Mac. Ronnie Mac, welcome to Holla at the homie. How you doing today, brother?
Hey man, I'm doing hella good, man. I wanna say, man, I'm happy for you, man, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of this, man.
It would be nothing to be a part of if I didn't have my real motherfuckers on here. You know what I mean? So, uh, I got radio first, but it was every guest is my first pick. Every like the people that I know, like you, radio, these other fellas that I know from the soil. You know what I mean? I know personally, y'all all my first pick. It's just who can get to me first. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, most definitely.
we gonna do this like we always do when we talk on the phone. So we gonna chop it up about a gang of stuff. Uh, I want to start off by letting the world know that I know they see you, right? But if they don't know you like I know you, they think you've always been a good boy all your life, and you know what I mean. They probably think you're a nice guy for their daughter or some shit like that. And I'm just gonna tell you, Ronnie Mac is gonna have your daughter sucking dick if she's of age and give some motherfucking money. But he's a good guy.
Hey, allegedly.
Shit, you one of the coolest motherfuckers I ever met. You real and you ain't on no bullshit. And what I really want to do these podcasts about with me and my loved ones is about change. So yeah, I say that, but even though you're a lot younger than me, you a whole lot more mature than me, and I've learned a lot from you as well. You know what I mean? Your work ethic. We'll start on that. I know this is gonna sound weird, but I just gotta. I want people to know that it's something I want people to know about you because you're one of my best friends. You're like a little brother, your family. A motherfucker's not gonna know this by looking at you, but the street fraternity that you once upon a time was a part of, or however you look at it, they didn't wear the same color as the color that me and my fellas wear, and I want this to be known for the sense of I want people to know that hold on, because I think I got. Don't get to playing. Hold on, because I got something too. That same motherfucking color. And this is the thing. I just happen to, I think I got it from the same person as you. So, hey, go and put them on. I'm not going to put mine on. I ain't got no socks on because this ain't matching my outfit for right now. But
yeah.
I'm glad you did that. I want people. I was talking to a fella I work with who will be a guest on the podcast, and I was telling them that gang banging. When we're young, we're gonna rock with our neighborhood or whatever. You know what I mean? And we're not in control of those people that move in the neighborhood. We just fuck with them because that's okay. Now, I would hate for me to have been in my stupid yesterdays and you not be the dude that you are, and we didn't like each other on where we grew up at or whatever because we would missed out. I missed out on one of my favorite motherfuckers that's in my tool shit.
Likewise.
You know I mean? Yeah, so I say that to say when you're a gangbanger and you're in prison and shit like that, you're usually gonna dislike the nigga that's as real as you. Because that's gonna be your enemy, the motherfucker who's with the shit. That's who they want you to get at.
Yeah. Not no poodle and nothing like that. Yeah.
Like, well, if you're with the business, now if you're a poodle, then that's different. But when you're a motherfucker that come from your caliber, you dislike the so-called enemy. But that's really the nigga who gonna push the line like you. You're not the nigga who would dislike the easy win. You would dislike the motherfucker that's about that business because you wouldn't get no stripes for fucking with a little 2-month-old puppy. You want the big.
Yeah.
So I had to interview you first of all to let people know that these ops that we have, if a person has not killed your relative, raped your child, did something to your mom, you really don't have an enemy. There's no reason to dislike a motherfucker because their culture is, they live over there and you live over here, man. You'll miss out on some of your real blessings. And some of my best friends' favorite color is this. And they mamas might not be my aunties, but when they talk to me, they call me cuz, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? You, L, I got some more of them. You know what I mean? And being a 45-year-old man, you got to know when to pick your battles. I respect real motherfuckers from everywhere, no matter what color their flag is.
Straight up.
How many points there are on their stars. So I just wanted to let everybody know how I feel about you. Now let's get it cracking, cuz. How you feeling, man?
Man, I feel very blessed, man. I feel very grateful, and I'm happy. I'm happy, you know.
I see that glow. And it's not just because you're yellow, man. I see that glow, man. I see that $1 million smile. What's going on in your world that got you happy? What you would talk to me, man? Let the people know what's going on.
All right, well, to start off, I'm happy to be on here. I seen your episode last night of a radio, shout out radio, man. I was watching the episode, and I seen him say, oh, he was in Hotlanta. So I got on Instagram, and I hit radio last night in the middle of watching the episode. Like, you still out here? Because I just moved to Atlanta. I'm about like a weekend right now.
Yeah, I know.
You feel me? I'm about a weekend right now. So I packed up me and my son and everything that I got, you feel me, and left California to come out here to do the damn thing, you know? And I'm glad I got to see that show last night with you on radio, because that made me feel real good. I'm glad that you on this hype, man, because this make me feel real good, man. And you feel me? And yeah, man, a motherfucker just, you know, when you doing what you want to do, but the way that you're supposed to be doing it, your purpose, I guess it does give you that glow, you know, and you know about it, you know, you feel me? That's why I feel good. I'm in a place that I want to be, how I need to be doing it, and I know that to be the truth. So I'm happy with that, you know.
For the people that don't know nothing about you, I want to give a quick, I want to let motherfuckers know how I met you. So for those that do know me or don't know me, like those who do know me, they know I do music. For those who do know me, they know I had a certain producer that would not allow just any and everybody to fuck with him. Now, you got brought in by a dude that I want to say I got him his first piece of pussy back in the early 80s, right? It didn't even know it for hella long. So you got brought in, I don't even want to say his name because I was like, but you got in by a rider. You know what I mean? By a dude I know that's a real motherfucker, real respectable dude. You got brought in, and when I met you, I was not even on the kick I'm on now. I was doing actual Christian music. I was trying to become a better person. Yeah, I don't even think I was cussing. I might not have been smoking weed or drinking that week. So you had heard some of my music because you was over there with the one and only famous Drum Game. I'm gonna have to get
Drum Game, man.
Yeah, Drum Game, Benny Blanco, right? So you were hearing some of my music and you were like, man, who is that? And he was like, he was playing stuff that most people haven't heard. And he was like, oh, this smoke, but fuck around no more. And I remember when I met you, you was like, yeah, hey man, I heard your music and I really liked it. And if you ever get back to fucking around, you know what I mean? I want to do some music with you. And I was like, okay, I appreciated it. When you left, I was like, man, who was the young fella? Because I'm not hiring right now. I'm not, you know what I mean? Man, I'm not taking no applications. And he was like, oh man, that's Ronnie. He like, Smoke, I know you for a very long time. You would fuck with him. I said, man, I don't really fuck with youngsters. He said, he ain't really a youngster like that. He just ain't been on this earth as long as everybody else in days, but knowledge and spirit and all that, he'd been here before. And, you know, we had bumped into each other a couple times and I liked your vibe. And then we did a song. And then you was in the studio a lot of times without recording, but you was a solid motherfucker. And then I found out you was a Crip and I was like, I like him even more because I like the man you was. And for certain shit that I went through in prison, let me know that they got soldiers and suckers from every place. A lot of my homeboys is from my neighborhood. I don't respect their manhood. I know some niggas who can chunk them. Man, I know some niggas who would kill you that I don't respect they principles and stuff. And when it come to you, you ain't never did nothing wrong, and you know how hard I am to be. You know how judgmental I am. You know what I mean? Yeah. So okay, so that's out the way. Now you are in Atlanta. What made you want to go to Atlanta? What is it that you're trying to achieve? That like, what are you into that makes Atlanta the place for you to uproot your son and move from where the fuck you was born and raised, where all the bitches love you and all the niggas like you and you got all the friends and all that? What would make you move 3 time zones away, 3,000 miles away from home? Why?
Because I'm about to blow up with this music shit. You know, that's what I'm about to. I came all the way out here. I got one person out here I know, well, 2, but you know, before I knew radio was out here, it was Lit Sherm. You know, I came all the way over here to work with the homie Lit Sherm. You feel me? Everybody that know drum game or no smoke or know me, they know about the lit nigga. So you know, I got my son, came out here, and I'm about to do what I'm supposed to be doing with this shit. You know, and that's why I'm out here to push this music.
I don't think you're telling the whole story, man. We're not talking about firearms, guns, or gas, but you're a shooter too, man. I heard you real good. You got good stamina with a camera, man. Talk to the people, man. Let them know that you.
Oh, yeah. You know, aside from not aside from it, but along with it, with doing the music, man. I went and bought me a camera, man. I went and got me a supercomputer with the help, you know, the homie Ryder and a couple other people and shit. And I'm doing videos now, you know, gonna be shooting my own mini films, interviews, anything I got to do to show the world what my life is like through that camera lens, you know. And I've been heavy into that, you know. So I do my own videos, my own editing, you know, to go hand in hand with the music. And I'm gonna be an artist, you know, and showcase, you know, the world of my artistry, because that's what we are. We're artists, man, at heart.
For sure, I know, and
yeah.
Anybody that does music or whatever. So part of the reason why a lot of motherfuckers don't know me, I don't have a team. I talk a lot to people that know me, but I don't really like let motherfuckers in. And you've been in the studio with me. I can go in there and have just a metronome on, close my eyes, and sing a whole motherfucking song, or
a whole motherfucking song from start to finish. And the shit be harder than a lot of shit that niggas will sit down and spend 2 hours writing. And I see it with my own eyes.
And then a nigga puts the motherfucking beat to it. So some of the things that I need that I did, we that house, okay, so we had drum game, and we also have Lit Sherm, who be somewhere else, but we still have access to Sherm. So with those 2 super dope producers, what we were missing was a cameraman. Because if I had more tools, then more people could have saw me. Same with Ryder, you, some of the other family members that were in the camp. You know what I mean? So you just basically decided to do videos out of necessity, right?
Yeah, it was straight out of necessity. Because I'm gonna say this on here, like I've said to many other people. What I know, growing up my whole life, motherfuckers are haters, right? And it don't matter. I've learned it don't matter what field you're in, what profession that you are pursuing, there's always gonna be the haters. There's gonna be the motherfuckers that act like suckers, the motherfuckers that do all the bitch shit. And it's no exception with the music. I feel like with this shit, it's even more.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's even more. So out of necessity, I got the cameras because I was so first off, like I said, motherfuckers is haters. So there'll be motherfuckers that don't want to work with you just based off that reason, you know. And then it got to be all about them. And they always thinking like with some crab in a barrel ass mentality and not want to see another motherfucker shine. And me seeing shit like what Ryder was going through with videos, and you yourself and with homies and niggas taking hella long to get the video back to people, not answering phone calls, blocking niggas on social medias, not being a man, talking about what it is that's going that is the dilemma. Sending little weird ass texts through shit, going through other motherfuckers. It was a lot of bullshit that I got to see. Unfortunately, but for me and my partners, my other partners, them dealing with that shit. And I was like, man, fuck this shit. Like, I don't want to have to go through none of that. And also, too, with the type of ideas that I have and what I want to do in my with my videos, it's very much more cost efficient too for me to have the shit, and I could spend my 3 days of shooting and be comfortable with that and take that on the chin versus having to work with some videographer who might not even be that dope, might be a motherfucker that I don't even click with while working.
Nigga,
and then also he want to charge a nigga $300 an hour. Well, I got about 2 or 3 days worth of recording right here. So, unless a nigga got a big ass budget to work with, I was going to be coming out of pocket a lot of money. And this is a way that I can get around that, get everything done that I want to the way I want to do it, is to do it my motherfucking self. So that's where I'm at with it. And I love it. I loved everything that I've been learning. I love I love the fact that I get to work with the people I get to work with. And it's just something to call my own. Like, you got this right here to call your own. And when you start from the ground up and motherfuckers is fucking with you and you learning shit and you seeing that you're adding to the world, you feel me? Something that used to not be here was just up in here, and you took it, put in the work to make it manifest into the physical. It's here. You feel me? You know that you done said it so many times, it ain't nothing to it but to do it. And it's such a big fucking thing, but it's really simply just that. So, nothing to it but to do it.
Okay, so watch this. You're a few years younger than me. You, me, or I guess the proper word would be L, you and I, we started making a change all for like trying legitimate hustles. Okay?
Yeah.
And L and I were working at a place where we were doing the pavement shit in the buckets. This is how we all got to the job that you end up doing. We were doing the pavement in the buckets, and me and L hated it, but we got to work together, and our boss really wouldn't sweat us. We were listening to music, we were talking shit. I was smoking weed outside in the fucking car. Like, it was, we didn't like to work, but since we got to work with each other, L and I made it fun.
Yeah.
This fella comes in, L and I called him Tick Tick because he looked like an Indian motherfucker that would go in a place and blow the place up. So we called him Tick Tick. I swear, when L sees this, L's gonna be like, "You talking about Kurt?" Yeah, we call Kurt Tick Tick. So Kurt was like, "Man, I'm just gonna be here for a little bit because in the summer when these shows start busting, I'm gonna go to San Jose and work for $38 an hour." I think L and I were getting like $11 or $12 an hour at the time. We're like 38. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go." He's like, "I'm gonna go to San Jose and work these concerts and these shows for like these Google parties and Facebook parties, and all I'm gonna do." I was like, "Hold on, nigga, $38 an hour? Is it some shit I can do?" He was like, "Yes." I was like, I'm lazy and I'm not gonna do nothing." He said, "Bro, you're doing more work than what the fuck you would do for the $38 an hour." And I was like, "Bro, please don't lie to me. You're almost giving me a monetarily stiffy, like you're making my pocket hard." Like,
yeah.
I mean, and he was like, "Nah, bro, if you're a loader or unloader, all you got to do is push a cart to where they tell you. And I know you're stupid, but you could do that." I was like, "Yeah, I can walk, nigga." And he was like, "You won't even have to push the cart by yourself. We'll be in the union, and you'll have to be ready." I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Nigga, you and L can stand by each other all day and talk shit and do." I said, "Come on." So we got on. We saw what it was. We told you. And like the player, pimp, mackin' ass motherfucker you are, you got to come in there shaking hand. You got to introduce yourself, and then you put us up on you got the game. Like, we were there first, but you got the game. You were like, "Look, there's always shows out here because we're in the Bay Area, but there's a couple other spots where they pay a little less, but we'll almost be guaranteed to work." And then you put us in like that. But one thing I will say is, me watching you, because I always learn from people, I watched your work ethic. You know what I mean? I watched your work ethic, boy. You work and you know how to politic with the people with the paper. You know what I mean? And now I am you at work, bro. Oh yeah, that street nigga shit, that shit is left. That shit is thrown away. Technically, I'm not the same dude I was. Now, don't get it twisted. When I'm around the fellas, I talk a certain way, but it's not like the bosses don't know I'm that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
A little shit or whatever, right? But I'm Mr. Good Morning. I open the door. Hey, how you doing? If somebody drops something, I pick it up. I definitely am in the mix at work. Like, I got it to the point to where I'm the highest paid janitor that I've ever fucking seen, from acting the same, not acting, but being the same dude that I saw you be, and you at least you more than 10 years younger than me. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons why I look up to you, not just because you're a little taller, but your business skills and the way that you deal with people. You don't leave people with a sour taste in your mouth, in their mouth. You know what I mean? And that's something that I got from you, and I implicated that out here. I came out here. I'll never forget L telling me, "Don't nobody know you. You can reinvent yourself. You don't have to live up to that dude that people expect you to be. Just you don't gotta be that. You can go out there. You can be cool as a motherfucking cucumber. You know what I mean?" He's like, "They don't. You'll chop their fucking head off." You know what I mean? So I just tried to take the best from everybody. And one of the things I took from you is just being coming to work, ready to work. You know what I mean? And no job too big or too small. As long as I can do it, if I can do it, it's gonna be done. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you being a role model for me in that aspect. So you're in Atlanta. You're gonna be doing what?
Hey, I like to say too though. So around that time that you're talking about, this is a couple years back. I'm in the streets doing my thing, and this is for everybody, a story for y'all. My pops, he got knocked for doing the same shit I was doing, right?
We're gonna get to that. Thank you. Perfect segue. Get it.
Smoke was hollering at me. He gave me a couple calls like, "Ronnie, man, you gotta come down here and do this job, man, that me and L do." And he's like, "You won't believe how much they paying us to do the fuck what we do." And I'm like, "Man, I ain't coming to do that shit, yada, yada, yada." And over what happened to my dad, it got me thinking, you know, like I gotta do something a little different. And me thinking about what I was thinking about, jobs, not want to do this, I felt like I was be taking like a step down, so to speak. Anyways,
I was doing. You want to get into that, like to paint the picture so people can know not to do that?
Hey, but look, I'm gonna tell y'all. I listened to him. He hit me. He was like, "Man, you got to come down to this Google event in San Jose, man." He's like, "It ain't no guarantee that you'll get on." He said, "But if they need a hand, it'll happen." So I got in the car, drove 2.5 hours away on some chant shit like I always do. Went there. They needed one more motherfucking person. I was there. They picked me up. And I just want to let y'all know that this man smoked the day before. He worked on, I think it was like a Memorial Day or some shit like that.
What I make in one day, nigga, what I made.
Hey, this dude right here I seen his tear off card. He made $995 in one day working a legit job. $1,000 in one day. So that just put it in perspective for people that's thinking that you have to do the illegal shit in order to get money like that. I seen it with my own 2 eyes. This man right here got $1,000 in one day from working a job where his fat ass, he didn't even like doing shit. And he still made $1,000 in one day and didn't sell no dope, didn't rob nobody, didn't do none of that, you know? So that's just a little story for y'all and some game for y'all to let y'all know that you can block your own blessings by just the way that you're thinking. If you're thinking that there is no other way, or, "Oh man, I can't do this, I can't do that," you're lying to yourself, because it's a whole bunch of different avenues out there and ways that you can get a lot of money without having to break the law. You just got to take the time to find out where it's at. So I just want to say that, and I appreciate you for that, man, because that helped me out a lot, bro.
Hey, talking to people that you don't know that do other things, because I would never know how to research that. And the funny part is, when we got there, right? So where we from, it's not like I don't be like I didn't used to wiggle in other people's sections.
Mm-hmm.
We got there, right? Me and L, the first time, I'm looking, I see Crip niggas I know. I see blood niggas I know. I see a couple of my old plugs. I see biker niggas I know. Motherfuckers see me smoke. I'm in San Jose. I don't know who the fuck do I know? No, they know a nigga. They know a nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm saying us though. Me and L first time getting out there, I was talking to somebody and they was like, oh, they got a not a Molly Cyrus. What's the other one name?
Taylor Swift?
Not Taylor, Ariana. They like, oh, I'm gonna be at the Ariana Grande tomorrow. They need somebody. Take this number, call the local, whatever, woo, woo. Oh, for those of y'all that's watching, because we're not even describing what we're doing. We're doing IASTE work, stagehand work. They have them in every state, and since the world is opening back up, they be looking for people to do that kind of work, and it's not hard work. You just not guaranteed a job every day, but there's a way to play the game. And this fella right is the one who was like, look, this $38 an hour is cool, but we're not in the union, so we're only getting overflow work. We're getting the jobs when other people don't want to do them. He was like, but hey, there's these other companies, Rhino, this one, that one. They don't get to keep as many people because people want the bigger jobs. But if we get on this staffing company and this one and this one and this one, we'll always be able to have a job. And boy, just like the player ass motherfucker he is, he pimped the shit out of that system and he gave us some game. I was doing other things as well, but when a motherfucker was like, look, on a regular day, y'all, you can get to work for $38 an hour, and if you work at night, after, what was it, 12? Yeah, after 12, it just goes to double.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, past I think it was 6 p.m., 6 or 8 p.m., it's time and a half, and then anything past the 12 at night up to 8 in the morning is double. So niggas was getting Chuck E. Cheesed up, you know?
Hey, don't forget they were feeding us. And then, okay, so I ain't shit, right? I'm not the dude that I used to be. Me and my partner L would leave our, oh my God, we would leave our station. I would leave my station, dip out, go to the bar, blow, get a shot of yak, and then slide back up there right before lunch, go to lunch. We would be in places where they had like catering going on in different places. Yeah. We'd slide in there like we were the big bosses, and I'd eat the big wigs motherfucking, oh yeah, this was the man, hey, look, I fucking miss it. I miss it. I mean, we had so much fun. I want to talk about what Pop's situation was, but I also want to take it back before that, because I want to show people how we all have different things that make us special. I was told, man, that you owned a racehorse. How old were you, man? Because you're not even my age, man, and you're black. I know people might say you look like Pierre from Players Club. What was it? You motherfucker might think you look like Pierre, but you're a whole lot smoother than he ever could have been, man. What was up with that, man? You had a horse going on racing and shit?
Yeah. So and that goes back to you had made a comment. You said being around certain folks opens you up to different shit. Like you said, a lot of times because we won't know what to search for, even though that something exists, right? But anyway, to answer that question, I was 19 years old when I met my biological father. I never even seen him before. Never knew anything about him. Only heard, negative shit about his ass. And, that identity wasn't there. Anyways, when I was 19, I met him through good old Facebook, and we ended up meeting. And it was like, we was always around each other. It's like, it's almost as if he had been there my whole life. But anyways, my dad, he was into racing horses, and I was like, what you mean? And he was like, you know, like Kentucky Derby. And he was like, well, I don't have that level of a runner. He's like, yeah, but the same shit you see on TV, he's like, that's what I got. And he said he had got into it because he would be, you know, he's in the game, and he would take the money that he would have here and there. And he said he used to bet on greyhounds. And one time he was inside the grandstands, and he said that somebody that used to gamble up there often was betting on the horses. And he was like, my dad said, so, you know, he made a play, whatever, and he said he dropped a couple G's on a bet for a horse to come through that some guy put him up on, and the shit didn't work out. And one of the races that the horse was in, it was like a $4,200 like claiming race. And basically, for those who don't know, the horse in that race, for you to claim it and be your own, whether it wins or loses, the money that my dad dropped just betting on the horse, he could have bought that whole motherfucker. So when he figured out like that, like, well, fuck betting on these motherfuckers, if I can just get my own, that's what I'm gonna do. And he did the wiggling that he needs to do to get up in the industry. So when I met him, he was already there. And so it gave me an insight. You know, most of these people that everybody on the backside of the racetrack, those people have been doing that shit their whole entire lives. You know, like some people, their family is generations of dope sellers, you feel me? Generations of players, you know, hoeing, you know, whatever it is. There's, you know, we know people granny's been doing this, dad's been doing this, whatever, for generations. These people, they've been around horses 50 years of their life. They know everything about it. So we going into their world, and, you know, it is different being, you know, a brother coming in there. You know, it's just like a lot of other industries and shit. But when I came into there, yeah, I started as a groom, and I worked with my dad, and being able to have horses, being able to leave. Like the cool thing about it, Smoke, was just like with the street hustle that motherfuckers was doing, where, because I like to travel, I like to be able to have fast money, the taking chances, you know, every aspect that had fascinated me about what I like to do with what I was doing, it was the same thing with the horses. You get to travel, you work for yourself, you get in, you get out what you put in. It's all chances, you know, but when you make your money, the payoff is big. And it just like it went hand in hand with how motherfuckers was already getting down and living their life. So yeah, I've had race horses, and that whole, it's crazy because that was like a whole nother life that I live. You know, like it's crazy. It's like there's times I forget that I've done that. But you know, I've raced in the state of California, the state of Arizona, and the state of Texas. And I know the cool thing about that, just like with anything, the experience in life, I'm 29 now. At any point in my life, I know that if I want to go back and pursue that again, I have that already in me. I've had the experience. I know what it's like to win. I know what it's like to lose, and I've played the game. So I have that knowledge and that experience to where if I decide I want to later on go venture back into the horse racing industry, I can do that. And I can also teach or make a play with somebody else who hasn't ever experienced nothing like that, and bring them into it just like my dad did. You know, so yeah, motherfucker had race horses, a horse, but there was athletes. You know, a straight motherfucking athlete. Some of them was losers, but nevertheless, you know, I always thought that was some tight shit, you know, and I got that from my pops, and he got it from just being a motherfucker he is, wiggling, being innovative, and trying to make something happen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, motherfucker was a horseman. You know, I got that underneath my belt too.
I ain't mad at you, man. Motherfucker Mac, nigga. So I'm not mad at you. And so, hey, it's funny. Like when I started off, and I brought in, you know, our street fraternities or whatever. Most people are gonna see you and not necessarily look at you as that. They're not gonna look at you as a horseman. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna see that you definitely are a man of many hats. You know what I mean?
Hey, and really not to cut you off, but that's hella understandable too, because while I was a fucking horseman, the people who was horsemen right on the side of me, they didn't even look at me like that. Yeah. It's crazy, you know, like they just looked at me like I remember a time when there'd be multiple times when people asked me like, hey, what do you guys do? After we there every single day in the morning at 5:30 to bring our horse to the racetrack, just like you, we there at the workouts every single morning. You see us at our barn. You see us with our horses, walking them, showering. We doing the same thing you doing fucking 7 days out the week, and motherfuckers was still looking at us like we wasn't horsemen, you know, like we gotta be doing something else. Absolutely. And yeah, they might have been right without even knowing it, but nevertheless, you know, it's crazy that you say that, because even the motherfuckers there thought that we had to be doing something else. You know, like there's no way these niggas got a horse. There's no way. Like, you know, it's the Klan's money, man. Like, yeah, you know,
that's not something that we're looked at to do, and that's part of the. So look, this is one of the reasons why I have this podcast. I want to let everybody know, and I'm not just saying for young black men, I want to let everybody know that you only have one life. What one man can do, any man can do. You understand me?
It's all about doing it.
Yeah. Get the game, get the knowledge. You know, everything don't come overnight. You know what I mean? But anybody can do just about anything. You know what I mean? Like, I can't slam dunk. But hey, you know what I mean? There's other things that I can do. You know what I mean? And that what one man can do, any man can do, that comes from one of my other favorite Crips, L. You know what I mean? L told me, like, look, you didn't have money before, you'd have been broke. You see me bubbling, nigga, you can bubble too. Hey, you see this man over there, he got to drive this car, you can have that too. Anything that you want, you can do. It won't just come because you want it. But you have access to doing anything as long as you do it. You know what I mean? So we all kind of were turning over new leaves at the same time because we were all involved in things. You know what I mean? But man, we all helped each other out in this, because when you, even though you have money coming in other ways, and you got to remember, man, I believe a place where I'll be at work and my phone be jumping. You know what I mean? Like my phone be jumping. When you coming back?
Yeah.
I mean, you worked at another place with me, and where we was working at different times. But you know that other job we had, boy, every break we had, there was somebody in my car waiting on me that needed a little something to keep their day going. So it ain't like, you know what I mean? But I knew that I could not do that forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't do it forever. You know what I mean? So I had to do something else, and I don't know how it happened, but I became a guy who works. Like I'm a guy, man, I ain't got to be at work till 7 o'clock. Man, I wake up now at 4:30, get up, go in there, take a shower, shave, brush my teeth, do everything, make my coffee, get dressed. I'll be out the house by 5:15. I get to the gym around 5:30. I get on the treadmill and do a high-paced walk for at least a mile. I run the last 10th of a mile just to get my heart beating. Then I get up in there and I do the thing where you doing this. Then I do the knees, and then I do those. I got on the little the thing which is like sit-ups today, and I did that. You know what I mean? Like we can do anything. We just gotta do it. You know what I mean? Let's get to let's talk about Pops, man, because I want to save some people's life.
All right, so look, and also too, about like an hour before we got on this thing right here, I was on Instagram and I seen a post on my feed from Juice, from Bullies with Fullies, man, out in Frisco, man. Shout out Juice. He said he was talking about it was a message towards the youngster, like this is right here. He was saying the people that's out when he said you in the streets, you in the game, you doing what you doing. He said, the goal is not to be like these motherfuckers that's running around and buying the big chains and trying to look like the rappers and yada, yada, yada. He's showing that you have inside of you the power to do what it is that you need to do. You can be successful without having those things. That's just things that people choose to buy with their money, but being foolish about it. You know, he was saying that basically that the goal should be, which, you know, for me and especially people, you know, your generation, you know, my jazz generation shit, motherfuckers was in the game for a purpose, to get the fuck out and be in a better situation, to get the fuck out the hood, to for their kids, you feel me, and their family, to be having an easier life, not to be in this shit trying to be flashy and trying to be the man. You know, we got, you know, it's you know, he touched on that, and I seen that an hour before you called me here, you know, so, you know, and that's no coincidence. But the situation with my dad, when you was saying like you're at the age you are now and you working, and I applaud you for that, because first off, you're here. Look, and then you working on something right now. This is work, your own platform, and you're keeping you going. You know, when there's a lot of people that ain't here, you know, to the casket, rest in peace. And there's a lot of people that ain't here because they behind bars. And a lot of people, they don't have the exit plan. They don't, like, you know, they don't know, like, or they might lose sight of the purpose. What the fuck is the purpose? You know, in my dad's case, my dad, he's the one that put me up on the horses. And when I met him, he was 40 years old. He told me, like, man, Ronnie, you ain't got to have it all figured out at 19. He said, you're going to get older, and what you want to do with your life is going to change many different times. He said, but when you find out what it is that you want to do, you got to stick with that. He said, I'm 40, and I'm just now figuring out what I want to do. And it was the horses, you know, and even though, and then when I met him and we started working together, he started growing as a horseman, you know, and got his trainer license and became official. And we was growing together in that sense, and also with our relationship. The thing with my pops, though, he was still tied to the street life, you know, and even though he found an exit route and something that he actually liked and that was getting him money and he could see himself doing for the rest of his life, he still stayed in the streets. And then got to the point, you know, where I made comments, and other people that was in his life and cared about him had talked about, like, hey man, like, when you gonna hang it up, you know, because foolishly, even at times when I was younger, or I'm sure you might have thought, or other people, they think, oh, we can just do this forever, you feel me? Like you ain't never gonna get knocked, like a nigga ain't never gonna get shot, like a motherfucking, you know, like there's, huh?
No, for sure. But watch this. You gotta remember, the first time I got knocked, I was 14. Then I got knocked.
Yeah. Well, you know, use an exception along with a lot of other people, but there is, you know, I'll just say me myself. There was times when I thought I was untouchable.
did a 15-year run. I just did 17 years of hustling without getting caught, though. So I just thought that. I just went to jail on somebody else's fumble. So yeah, absolutely. And I had to look at that and be like, you know what, man? I think every day, man, I'd be like, nigga, I ain't finna do it. Today, I was like, nigga, you ain't finna do it. No, you not.
Yeah. Straight up, you have to, for everybody that's watching, you have to have an exit plan. And if you don't have an exit plan, your exit plan should be to exit, because soon my dad's the one that told me this. He said, Ronnie, you have to get lucky every single day. He said those people only got to get lucky one time. You feel me? My dad's the one that told me that. And he's locked up now over the same, you know, the same thing that a lot of cats is doing, that I know that I was doing. He's just caught up in the game. What happens though, you getting the money, you know, you doing what you want to do, you having the broads, whatever the case may be. When you get knocked that one time, now he gets taken, and he's not the only one that's affected by that. You feel me? He got hella kids. I got little brothers and sisters that ain't gonna see their dad no more. At least they finna grow up many years without him. You feel me? And it's a downward spiral for y'all cats that's thinking that that it's all about you. And for the ones that ain't even hustling for their family, like y'all on some other shit anyways. But when you get knocked, you're fucked. But then your mama, she feels it. Your kids feel it. Your woman feels it. Your cousins feel it. And that trickles down into how the kids start acting in school, you know, and how relationships be when girls grow up without their dads, because, you know, they done lost them to the system or the streets. That opens up a pathway for somebody to come in and be their daddy, you know?
A talking motherfucker with some game, or a motherfucker with no game, a couple of dollars, some shiny trinkets, some bullshit or whatever. That's part of the reason why I left California, came out here, because my 2 daughters is out here. And I'd be damned if a sucker get to slide up on mine. You know what I mean? I'm going to stay real close. You know what I mean? And everything that you're saying right now, you got to say, because it's the realest shit ever. It's simple. How much time did Pops get if you don't?
Man, my dad took a deal. He's locked up in the feds right now. He took a deal back in 2018 for 18 years.
Okay. That was a whole lot more though, huh?
You said what?
Yeah, he was looking at a shitload more than that.
Hell yeah, that was the deal that he gave them. Yeah. That they gave him was 18. But before that, the deal, man, they was looking like one of his charges carried a maximum of 50 years.
And that's so I was talking about you today, right? And I thought that's what he had got. I was like, I think my boy dad got like 50. And they was like, huh? I said, yeah, nigga, we got to give up before we get it. It's a little too late. Not saying that he shouldn't change his ways now or whatever, right? But I always said if they gave me life, then that's what I would be. You know what I mean? Because why fucking change then if I ain't never coming home? You got to change. This is just my opinion. A motherfucker to change while you still got options in plays that you can make. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
Yeah, because it's a little too late. Like the song where the white boy say, "It's too late to apologize. It's too late." I sound like I was on the Marion and them motherfucking battle, but yeah, it be we gotta get it while we still got a chance to make these moves. And unfortunately, Pops sacrifice fly and a lot of people won't miss him and all that. But the fact that you took a lesson out of this was the blessing at the end of the day. You know what I mean? He was a sacrifice fly, but you still making a home run. Look at what you're doing. You know what I mean? You left that shit alone. A lot of people, we're not going to say exactly what was being done, but anybody with a brain can listen to certain words that you said and put together with your mannerisms and all that and what the fuck was going on. You know what I mean? Everybody always asks me in that video, when they see a video where I'm singing about she's my this and she's my drug or whatever, everybody says, who is she? Is that your cousin? Is that your baby sister? I say, man, I know a young player who can get a motherfucker to do anything. You know what I mean? And he ain't got to manipulate. He can just articulate. You know what I mean? And everybody ain't got that ism. You know what I mean? And you definitely do. I'm so proud and happy because I got daughters. You know what I mean? And I got nieces. And I'm glad that, like, I don't hate the game and I don't hate the player because as far as I'm concerned, they're the same thing. But I'm glad that you're using your conversation for something other than that. You know what I mean? Because there are karmas in everything we do. Even just like the fact, you know, I was pushing that poison. I be hoping like a motherfucker don't nobody, you know, pull up on my kids and get them involved and falling in love with a substance. You know what I mean? I owe the game because I said that certain motherfuckers is my friends and I was willing to sell them for monetary, for money. I would sell them something that I wouldn't use myself. You know what I mean? So I was explaining to somebody some of my sins that I'm not proud of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless that people chose to do what they chose to do, a real friend wouldn't feed you food that he wouldn't eat himself. You know what I mean? So I just, you know, I'm glad that we're on a different path. It doesn't make us no better than anybody else, but what it does make us is grown enough to realize that, hey, these things aren't helping our community. And when I say community, I don't necessarily mean black people. We all live on this planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've destroyed some of everybody. You know what I mean? And we're all human. Everybody put their clothes on, hopefully one leg at a time. I mean, when nobody's looking, I do put my shorts on, throw them up in the air, and just jump in them motherfuckers. But I'm special. You know what I mean? Everybody don't got that talent. You know what I mean? Woof. You know what I mean? But other than that, we all the same, man. And I appreciate you opening up about that. You know what I mean? And letting people know that it's better to get away from that shit now. It's a little too late when you're sitting in the courtroom. You know what I mean? When you're sitting in
Man, hey, and for everybody that's in the game or doing something illegal, I'll tell you like this: if you've never been knocked before, it's something that you don't want to happen to you. No matter how tough you think you are or what you done heard, it is not cool. And also, too, for y'all that's in the game doing anything that you're doing illegal, like I said, there better be a purpose with it. And your purpose should be to get out, right? And while you making your moves, really take the money and your time and look for an exit route, because you can't do it forever. And also, if you do get knocked, when it happens, because it only got to happen, they got to get lucky one time. If you ain't got no motherfucking bail money put up, if you ain't got no lawyer fees, you gonna have one hell of a fucking time trying to fight your battle from inside of a cell. It is very different from when you fighting outside. And but that's what bail money can do for you. Having a lawyer can change your outcome significantly. So that's just some guidance right there for people that's still doing what you're doing. If you're gonna do it, you gotta have shit set in place, because when it does come fucking crumbling, man, they're gonna leave you in little pieces everywhere, and you don't want that shit to happen to you. So if you is gonna do it, man, you gotta move with a purpose. You gotta have some game about yourself. And also, like you were saying, we all are people here, you know, on this planet. Fuck just the black community. I got a son, and like I said, I got a whole bunch of brothers and sisters. I'm the eldest of like 14 kids. I got a whole bunch of brothers and sisters who don't have a dad now. You feel me? And when he was here, the relationships, whatever it might have been, there's no relationship now. Those kids look up to me now, and I don't even have him around. So I'm still navigating, trying to make sure that I'm here for them and here for my son, because if I don't, then it'll be a generational thing. Like my pops, my grandpa, he died in Vacaville prison. He been locked up since my dad was a teenager for a murder charge.
Hold on. So I knew Grandpa died in the pen. What years was he in Vacaville? Because that was the first college that I attended on a drug dealing scholarship.
Man, I don't know exactly when he went in there, but I know he had all right, so I don't know he went there during his later years, because I know before that he was in San Quentin.
Okay, I was there 98, 99, 2000.
Hey, well, you might have seen him. I don't know his whole prison record and where all he was at every year, but I know that he did when we was in Texas racing horses. We flew from Houston, Texas to Sam Houston Racetrack back to California, because they was letting him out at the Vacaville Hospital because he had only a couple more days to go. He had died of liver cancer in Vacaville. I
don't even want to be funny, right? Man, because your dad went from LA, huh?
Nah, but my grandpa was.
Nigga, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I might really have known your grandfather. You know, when I was down, the same things I did on the streets, I did in the penitentiary. You know what I mean? To feed myself. We'll just leave it at that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think I could be tripping, but I might know who your I might have been around your grandfather. You know, when I was in fact, I was at one point in time one of the youngest people there. You know what I mean? I was definitely one of the youngest motherfuckers that was in the mix. You know what I mean? That's crazy,
Yeah, hey, when we get off of this, I'll show you some pictures of him, and when you see him, you'll be able to be like, oh, that was him or not, you know?
Yeah, because I'm damn that.
You know, but like I said,
before I met your dad through you though too, I knew your dad too, and that's crazy. That's crazy. And for you to not have met him till you was 19, right? And I hear you say, well, I never seen him till I was 19. You a lie, nigga. You see him every day when you looked in the mirror because the motherfucker y'all look like brothers. We need to find that picture where we was out that night before that show. You know
yeah. I got that motherfucker. But like I was telling y'all, man, a lot of stuff. You always hear the term like a generational curse. Yeah. But a lot of this shit don't be no motherfucking curse. It be a tradition, bro.
And you have a choice to break it.
Yeah, you feel me? So this is I'm making the conscious decision to break the 3 generations of imprisonment. You know, I've never been to prison. My grandfather died in there. My dad's currently in there, and ain't no telling if he gonna die in there. But I haven't been there. And one small mistake, one mistake could lead me in there, and that's 3 generations. And then I got a son. Like, what am I gonna be teaching him? You know, like the apple don't fall far from the tree. So it's a tradition because it's all choices. And I'm choosing not to go that path so that my son don't have to experience that. And we got to be the change that we want to see in the world. And that's real shit. You know, motherfuckers can preach this and say they want this and want that. But if you ain't getting your ass up and you ain't making a change yourself and you ain't holding the door open for the lady or you ain't getting off the corner and stop slinging something, then you're not a real adult and you can't go around talking that shit because you're not doing it yourself. And that's not being a stand-up motherfucker. And you got to, like you said, we're all inhabitants of this world and we all live here. And our children and whoever has kids, your child has to be here to deal with this world when you're gone.
Yeah.
You feel me? And this is some fucked up shit.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, so
that's super real because I started realizing that not only do I have daughters, but I have grandchildren. And my first son was not raised, like he was raised with me until his mom took him somewhere and moved and things that happened or whatever, right? But the things that I was doing when I was young are the things that he heard about. So he kind of wants to be a version of that. And me telling them that, hey, that shit ain't fly. He hear me, but he heard all the stories. You know what I mean? And that's what he wants to be.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up because I'm like, bro, I wouldn't tell you that. Like, you looking at the good parts or what seemed like it was fun, but you don't know how I feel when motherfuckers were shooting me over some bullshit I was doing, or you don't know how I feel when I was 18 years old. When I was 16, the week before I turned 17, I went to juvenile hall and I spent that whole year and a week in juvenile hall in a group home. And then when I got out of the group home at 18, 36 days later, I got caught for shooting at some nigga and with my homies in the P, and the police took me to jail and beat my ass and said you had to be a dumb nigger for going to jail on Martin Luther King's birthday. So they whooped me for getting caught with that pistol and that coke. You know what I mean? And from 14 to 23, I stayed in somebody's institution. You know what I mean? I just couldn't get it right, man. I would go to prison and work for free. I would go to prison and work for pennies, and then I would come home and be like, I'm not finna do it, I'm finna sell some coke. You know what I mean? And I couldn't get out that trap. And then for years, I had my daughters, and I changed the ways I was doing things. I stopped trying to go get so much money. I just wanted to just have a little bit. And I wasted years not being able to go do things the way I wanted to do them because I was still hustling. You know what I mean? But I wasn't trying to get real money. I just was trying to get a little bit to live. What I should have been doing was the things that me, you and I ended up doing. You know what I mean? I might as well work the job. I think everybody should work a job and work so much that you hate it. So while you're at work, you figure out what you really want to do, save your money, and put your put that into your repertoire. You know what I mean? So I go to work every day, and while I'm at work, I think about who I want to interview, what I want to talk about, and all of these things, right? And I'm coming home, and I can't probably interview everybody every day because there's a time difference with most of the people I'm fucking with. So on the weekend, this is what I'll be doing. It keeps me out the way. You know what I mean? I'm at work. I'm doing what I need to do to keep my job, but I'm dreaming on my exit plan. There are people that get paid off of doing this.
Yeah, you building on something.
Absolutely. And there's another thing that I want to do, and that you want to do, and that we're both doing. I'm gonna die one day. Hopefully, it's no time soon. But I need to leave proof of my knowledge. You know what I mean? So I have a lot of music, and Ben doesn't do music no more. So, Yada dying, I took me and his stuff down. It wasn't on purpose, but I took me and Yada down. I have a couple albums that I haven't released. Good music that a lot of people want to hear, but I'm not that dude anymore. I want to leave something positive. When people say, well, who was Smoke? Well, who was Fat Partner? Who was Levi? Or who was Stefan? Or who was Steph? I want them to see these parts of me. They don't need to hear about me going hard on the bitch or about me promoting violence on my people. The whole world is my people, so I'm not just talking about Crips and motherfuckers from different neighborhoods. I'm just saying, period, that's not what I want to leave behind. You know what I mean? I don't want my legacy to be that. I don't want for somebody who doesn't know me, that listens to my music, likes the beat, and thinks, oh, that's dope. I should be a dope dealer. No, homie, you should go to school and learn how to be a train conductor. Because you might can make 70 something to 80 bands in a year, and you ain't even doing hard work. No, homie, you should try to go to school and learn how to be an engineer, or whatever. Like, there's so many other things that we.
Hey, my son wants to be a paleontologist.
What the fuck is that?
The motherfucker that digs up dinosaur bones.
Okay.
And I'm in love with that.
You said what?
I said I'm in love with that.
Yeah. Hey, look, we only live once. You hear me? We only live once. No disrespect to the people that I give my money to so I can get my gas. But come on, man. God didn't create your son to say unleaded or do you want some blunts? Like we need those people, right? But we need to raise our children to know that those are stepping stones and not the goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up. And also too, for those of y'all that's watching, I just want to give y'all this guidance right here. If you are in the game, no matter what it is your hustle is, my dad told me, if you're gonna be breaking the law to get the same amount of monies in a month that McDonald's will be paying you, nigga, you might as well get a job at McDonald's. Because one thing's for sure, you ain't finna go to jail from working at McDonald's, but you will go to jail from doing whatever the fuck it is that you doing illegally. And if you're not making the amount of money that you be making at a square gig like that, then I'd advise you to hang it up in the most respectful way possible. Because it don't make sense. But a lot of people, we get caught in that, whatever niggas thinking, oh, this is corny, this is this. I'll tell you what, being broke is corny, but having a square job, ain't nothing wrong with that, versus you being on the streets. Because when a motherfucker get locked up, you gonna be wishing that you was able to go work a square job or just be in the streets on any note. So I just want to let motherfuckers know that too, because a lot of people run around here like dumbasses. They make dumb decisions. It's like when I do something, most times if I'm able to think, which we should be doing, you gotta weigh. You feel me? The positives and negatives. Like, is what you doing the reward worth the risk? And you should be doing this with anything. If
juice worth the motherfucking squeeze.
You feel me? If it's not, be truthful with yourself, man. Don't do that shit, man. You'll throw your whole motherfucking life away, man. And like I said, your kids will be impacted, your mama, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, your partners, all over some shit that wasn't worth it. You know, so that's real shit, y'all.
I want to take it a step further. So when you go to jail and you got loved ones or whatever, this is what puts a strain on relationships, because you go down. Well, I'm watching it now. I don't want to call out no names, but I got a real close partner. His brother went down, called a case or whatever. He was out, you know what I mean? He did some years, and then he got locked up or whatever. Now he calling every day, and he want people to do this and that and da 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 da. And when they can't make the move that he wanted to make, he feels some type of way. But at the end of the day, you were out here where you could have made every move you wanted to. You had ample opportunity to put yourself in a position. So when you were just talking about your dad saying, Pops was like, if all you can make is McDonald's money, well, you just said earlier about how I was making, how I made on one particular day, $995. You got to remember, bro, when I left there, I wasn't sweaty. I wasn't dirty. I could tell you what I was doing that day. I still remember what I did that day. L got lucky and did the truck. They put me, I was doing like wiring or something like that. Mind you, I don't know nothing about that. They told me, take this wire, it's this color, pull it and put that one in the color. And the thing, like, it wasn't like some hard stuff. Yeah. So that shit was a little heavy, but it was only heavy because I don't never work out or nothing like that. It was chicks doing the shit. The same shit I did, and everything was in waves. You know what I mean? Like you work for a couple hours, and sometimes I had to hold on and wait. I do remember being outside underneath a tree while the breeze was going, and we waited for a minute doing a truck because they needed. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't do nothing for that money. All I did was hung out with my partner, man, and smoked weed on every motherfucking break, bro. I remember that like it was yesterday. You know what I mean?
And then you was back to that same motherfucking place the next day getting some more money.
Yeah, I want to say, damn, not that night, but I think like the next day when I was getting some more money, me and him, one of them nights I ended up in that same little circle of time, right? We were somewhere. Matter of fact, me and him were at one place, and I want to say you were across the street, probably there, right? And there was a concert that night, and it was one of them times where I got the gig, but L didn't get the gig. Man, I went and did an out for like about a 4-hour out, close to $300. And not only did I get paid $300 for, we were there for maybe 4.5 hours, but it wasn't but 2 hours worth of work because we had to wait for the concert to be over.
Yeah.
And it was a New Kids on the Block concert, Salt and Pepper, Debbie Gibson, and this dude is walking down the hallway, and he looks at me, and I look at dude like I know this nigga, but he looking at me like he know me. This nigga don't know me. It's Trish from Naughty by Nature. Trish walks on, fist bump me. He's like, what's up, dude? I'm like, what's happening, player? How you feeling, Trish? He's like, oh, man, I'm good. You know, he just did a show, so he had been drinking and smoking. He walks off. They come over and like, hey, you can't touch the celebrities. I said, so if he walk over to me and say what's up and try to talk to me, you want me to just turn around? It's like, no, if he talks to you, then you talk to him. I said, well, that's what it was. So they was like, no problem. We just want to let you know. I'm like, it's good. So I don't know why he ends up coming back around, but I'm walking down. They're telling me where they want me to go. So I'm going. And when I walk, I look, Trent's on the side of me again. He like, how you feeling? I look, I'm like, what's up, man? He like, oh, man, I had a good night. He talked to me for a second. I was like, Trent, I ain't trying to get in trouble. He's like, man, don't worry about that, man. You with me for a second. We holler for a quick little second, and he leaves. I really enjoyed the work that we were doing because not only did I, bump into some people or whatever, but we also met a lot of interesting people. I'm just saying, like, when I grew up, I thought the only thing that I wanted to do was sell drugs. And as I got older and I started looking at how many people I know that got killed over $20 and $30 and how many people ain't never coming home and we sold a gang of dope, but now they can't even afford to do nothing and they're in jail asking a nigga that they don't know for some soups or whatever. That shit just ended up not being, it just ended up not being it. You know what I mean? It just ended up not being it. I do know a lot of folks that did end up with a whole bunch of shiny stuff, but my grandfather, rest in peace, had came to see me. My grandfather was an asshole. Like the side of me that y'all see that just straight, that just cold blooded, say whatever, but be right.
Yeah.
It's even worse. That's what I get that from my grandfather. Was from the Bahamas. He came from Florida and came to see me when I was in jail when I was 19 years old. He was like, "Yeah, so I heard you caught another one of them damn drug cases." I was like, "Yeah, I was getting this money." And he looked me dead in my face and said, "When you average out how much time you finna do, and you take out what you paid for it, profit-wise, you made a penny an hour." And he might not be literally correct. At that time, I was like, "This nigga got me fucked up." I was making bands or whatever, but then you got to think, every time I had 9,000 or 4,500, I was taking the 4,500. Well, the 3750 and going to get a 9-piece or whatever. Anyway, you know what I mean? All that money I was touching wasn't mine in the first place. I'm blowing, you know how I smoke. I'm blowing like a broke stove. Don't nobody smoke weed like me but Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? I wasn't really making no money, and I didn't realize that till I got older. Like, I touched a lot of paper and didn't get to hold on to none of it. I've sold a lot of shit and can't prove it. And the only motherfucker, like, so when I go to work, these motherfuckers, I don't tell these niggas who I once upon a time was. I just leave it at that because I look like an idiot if I tell these niggas how much shit I did and I can't show them nothing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I leave it at that, man. We'll get off that talk. And we'll talk about something that's blowing up the internet right now. We'll talk about something that's absolutely none of our business, but I figured me and you we'll have some fun with this for a few minutes, and then we'll get out of here because I know people they don't want to watch these long ass podcasts, but I'm hollering at my homie, and this is just how we talk. Man, have you seen that bullshit?
Yeah.
Have you seen that bullshit about how you feel about the chick who had the multiple baby daddies? You know what I'm talking about, right? The McDonald's shit.
Yeah, man.
Hey, everybody else talking about it. What the fuck, me and you look like not addressing it? So, what do you think, Mac, about that shit, man? How would you deal with it? And do you like you? Just, I'm gonna shut up for just a quick second. Talk to me about that McDonald's shit.
All right, I'll say this. What makes you a man? The number one criteria, to me, that makes a motherfucker a man more than anything, the money he makes, whatever the fuck, how tough he is that he holds himself accountable and he takes responsibility for the things that he does. That's what makes you a man, first and foremost. But also what makes you a woman, an adult, like the man, is you gotta hold yourself accountable for your actions too. And hold yourself responsible for the things that you do.
Well,
With that being said, I think that women, especially the black woman, in our community, I think that you should stop trying to bring down us, especially fathers that are there in their kids' lives, because there's a whole bunch of dads who ain't never there. I think that the black women should focus more on loving us instead of trying to paint us in a negative picture, because the whole world's watching this. What that lady did, she made herself look real bad with the intentions on trying to make that dad looking bad who was bringing food to his kid. I can tell you about what I would have done and what I have done. but it don't change. It has nothing to do with what he did. He did what he was supposed to be doing. I think that the lady should get the fuck up off her ass instead of waiting for her food stamps to come on the 11th.
Come on.
I think, I think that she should go do something with herself, because we all got the same 24 hours in a day. Yes, and just as much as I think that men should stop doing the things that we do to our Black women, we're talking specifically about this video. And I just think that, sisters, we love you, you love us. We just got to show that to each other more. And there's everybody else watching this, to Mexicans, to white people, to Asians, the Indians. We look like some sorry ass people. We the only people that sit there and do shit like that to each other. And we the only ones that sit there and fight with a man and a woman, and it's so chaotic. We look foolish to a lot of people. I think that lady should have never have done that. And I hope that they get, I hope that she should get up off her ass and make sure that she ain't never got to make a video like that, because if he decides to bring his son McDonald's again, she gonna have some McDonald's for all her other kids, man. That's what I think about that.
Hey, so I agree with you 100%. I do feel, and this is just, I'm always a devil's advocate. I do it. The same amount that a McDonald's meal costs, motherfucker could have got some noodles and some hot dogs, right? But let me say this. We don't know how that lady been talking to that man. We don't know if that man first of all, had the time to stop at the store. For all we know is that man had 17 minutes to get to work. A little man called, hey, how you doing? I mean, he called his son, hey, son, how you doing? I'm good. I'm hungry. I ain't running no food. Okay, well, damn. I get paid on the 13th, but it's the 10th. I only got $20 left in my name. I'm finna put $10 in gas in here. I'm finna get you or whatever. Woo, woo, woo. Who knows if Little Caesars was on that side of town the way he could have got 2 hot and ready. Who knows? But that man spent his money on his. I was being funny because, I'm a jackass, right? I was like, well, look, if it was me, right, I would have fed my wife's 2 boys that she had before I got with her, right? But if she had a kid after me, then I don't know, this little new motherfucker ain't mine. Now I'm petty like that, you know what I mean? But that's me. I wouldn't have, now in real life, I wouldn't have did it. I would have tried to feed everybody if I could. I cook, so I might have home and made the best big $5 meal in the world. But sometimes your kid just wants a motherfucking cheeseburger, a toy. He can't get no ice cream because that motherfucking ice cream machine down. I'm just saying, man, like, that man wasn't obligated to nothing, and we need to, us as men need to teach women. Unfortunately, you need to be kind of choosy with who you fuck with. You need to get to know these people and their morals and all that before you open your legs and give them the only little prize that sometimes people be having. Sometimes there's more to a woman than just what's in between her legs, but sometimes that's all a woman got. That's all. And you should hold on before you give your cookie out to any old cookie monster. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to have a talk with my daughters. I've already been telling them, like, so Aisha finna be 16, and somebody had a job that she could have worked, okay? She don't too much care for the person. I said, well, is that person like put his hand, like, has he made you feel uncomfortable? No, it's nothing like that. He just made a comment about something that I don't like. I don't really like him. I had to explain to my daughter. That you're getting to the age where you're gonna have to start taking care of yourself. And yeah, daddy got you as long as I'm alive, but I don't know how long I'm alive. So how long I'm gonna be alive. So you can't always look at, well, my daddy will always have my back. That's number one. Number two, every morning when I get up and I go to work, I am surrounded by child molesters. Do you hear me? And if I'm not at work, so I can be honest, child molesters is on my fuck you list. I don't like child molesters. I'm not a big fan of motherfucking snitches. I work with a whole bunch of both, but I go to work to feed myself. I don't hustle no more. I'm not taking nothing from nobody that doesn't belong to me. So I have to balance what's more important, my personal preferences and likes of how I judge a man's character, or do I need to pay my bills? So I told my daughter, whose birthday is coming up, I said, you got a pair of Jordan 1s that cost me $225. And you have some Chanel, a real small bottle of Chanel Chance. If I was worried about what these men did with their choices in life, because I don't like that character flaw, right? Then I wouldn't be able to do for you, and I wouldn't have a closet full of polo. You know what I mean? I couldn't wear Kangos. Not like you have to look at what really matters. And so with that woman, who knows what her and her dude went through, but unfortunately for women, a man plants the seed, but the woman holds the seed and usually keeps the children. Ladies, this is gonna sound fucked up. Don't get to know a dude before you fuck with him and let them create a life, because the man don't usually have the child. And everybody, regardless to where we say, well, he should do this and he should do that, at the end of the day, if you stuck with this baby, you're gonna have to make it happen. You know what I mean? And I know it's unfortunate, but then watch who you fucking. Watch who you make it with.
Hey, and the same thing with the dudes too. It goes both ways. Both ways. Women watch out, and men watch out too, man. You can have a baby with somebody that could tear your whole life apart and will use the child to do it. You know, so that goes both ways, y'all.
Absolutely.
Straight up. And maybe in the future, Smoke too. We could we do a part 2, and we could talk about the men and the women in the household, because that's something big especially in our culture, that motherfuckers don't talk about, but it is everyday real shit, and we need help with it. You know, so maybe that could be for next time.
I was gonna say that we've been here for a minute, man. You know, I love you like a meth head love crystal in a pipe, man. You know, you mean everything to me, man. We definitely, this will not be our only one, you know what I mean, unless something happened to the whole wide Zoom system and just computers and internet and all that, man. Man, I really love you, man. I appreciate you being in my life. You've helped me. You've been there for me, man, where I was fucked up, and I could cry to you and I could talk to you about life, and you gave me real life, opinions and game, and help me. You see me at the bottom of my smokeness, you know what I mean? And you one of my heroes, bro. You just being a real man, being honest with yourself. I'm high on manhood, and I'm proud to have you as one of my little brothers that's also been the big brother too. I want you to continue to do all the great things that you're doing, spread this positivity around like butter on a motherfucking garlic bread, you know what I mean? And continue being you, man. With me doing this podcast, there's 3 people I kind of look up to. What's 4? Sinful to P, but he's the 4th one. But I'm gonna say I got a thing for Vlad, and I got a thing for $1 million worth of game, and then Nori on Drink Champs. And Nori wants to give everybody their flowers while they're alive, and so that's why I want to tell people, I appreciate you and thank you and stuff like that. Mac, you continue to be the dude you are. This will not be the last time we get together. Man, I had a lot of fun with you, man. I enjoyed hollering at my motherfucking homie, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mind a nigga who, you know what I mean? You my favorite blue shoe wearing motherfucker, unless it's L. Then he would be my favorite blue shoe wearing motherfucker, man. You do your thing, brother. Hit me. I can't wait for people to see this and see how they respond, share it, and let's keep this thing going, man. You tell Sherm I'm gonna want to holler at him too, man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna do that, man. I appreciate you. I want to let everybody know I'm Ronnie Mac, man, Sacramento, California's finest, the best ever. Do it, man. You can check me out on YouTube, Instagram, official Ronnie Mac.
How you spell it?
Hey, and this is the first of many, but you Smoke, man, you my dude. Like I said, I'm happy to be here. And you dreamt about this. We talked about this, and now you're doing the damn thing, nigga.
Oh, man. Hey,
so I'm happy for you. Yeah. And we gonna get lit Sherm on this motherfucker, man. And everybody that's watching this, If you like this shit, man, like it, share it, show it to somebody who got a little somebody or a nephew or a little brother, somebody that needs some guidance or whatever, man. And hopefully we can make this something just as big as drink champs, you feel me, or the $1 million worth of game, you know, because we got a whole bunch of that just like them cats, you know.
Sure.
So you know, so we're gonna keep this thing going. But I appreciate you, Smoke, my nigga. You know, and it was fun hollering at the homie, man.
You already know, man. I love you, Mac. I'll holler at you soon, bro. You be smooth.
All right, for sure, man. We out.
For sure.